Have you heard all the hype about Meshtastic and MeshCore and you're thinking, what is this all about? Sounds interesting, kind of want to check it out, but I don't really know where to start. Well, I've got some things you should know that'll help you get started, or even if you just started, they might help you along your way. Now, we'll start off by talking about LoRa mesh radios because that's a term you might have also heard, and we're going to get into some terminology also that'll kind of help demystify some of this stuff. But LoRa stands for long range, and it's a low power radio technology that is designed to send small, basically data packets over long distances. And we'll talk range in a little later section, but it is fully decentralized. So it's not using internet or cellular networks, so it's just radio waves. So from line of sight radio waves. But it is definitely not capable of, like, your voice and video and large files. So, but it is really well suited for things like text messages, GPS location sharing, telemetry data. Like, you could have environmental sensors and stuff like that on there. There's a bunch of little things you can do with these, and it's just a very simple off-grid communications tool. So, you also heard this part about mesh, and some people that might be familiar, they've heard the word mesh networking in other communications protocols, and yes, it is kind of the same. We'll get a little bit more into that here in a second. So that takes us to terminology, and these terms are things you're going to hear either here on this video or other videos you've already heard and thought, what are they talking about? There's a lot of them, but we'll kind of break some of those down to help you understand a little better. Node, you're going to probably hear where people use the word node quite a bit, and that is this. It's the hardware. It's the radio itself. It doesn't matter what type of radio. Well, it's a radio that's compatible with Meshtastic or MeshCore, right? But that sometimes people call a node. And LoRa we already talked about, and then mesh network. So really what you got to think about it is, in a mesh network, the way Meshtastic and MeshCore are primarily designed is each radio can forward messages on. So therefore, the more you have in a network, think spiderweb style, potentially the further you can communicate. And we'll get a little more in details here in that in a second. And then you're also going to hear, so hops is just a basic word for saying how many times how many other radios did that message hit before it made it to its end destination, right? And there's more to it than that, but that's the basics. You also might hear people say something about frequencies and ISM and all that stuff, and you're like, that is, okay, that's too much for me. Well, simply put, ISM is industrial, scientific, and medical. It is basically a set of frequencies depending on what region you are in the world. Your regulatory agencies for communications have set those frequencies for your area. And in the US, you might hear 915, which is really the center frequency. It's an actual range, but it is completely license free. You don't need some sort of special license to use it. And all you really have to know is when you're setting up your device, you've got your radio, you've paired it to your phone through an application, whether it's Meshtastic or MeshCore, and you select the region you're in, and it will set the frequency appropriate to that region. There's one caveat there, but this is a basic video. So then you also might hear people talking about, hey, it's encrypted, it's, what's that? And public key and private key, what does that mean? Well, if you're not familiar with that, using Meshtastic again as the primary example here, when you first set it up, you're going to have a long fast channel, which really always think of that as the public chat room. So everyone that, unless they change their radio when they get it and go into settings and change some things, it's going to have that channel. So that is a public channel. So if I send a message on that right now, and there's people within range of where I am, they're going to see, hello from my radio, and it's going, to everyone that has the public key. And then if you want to have a private conversation, you can do direct messaging. If you have the person saved in your radio, or if you can see them on there, you can tap on them and go to direct message and do that. Or if it's someone you're going to communicate with frequently, friends, family, team, whatever, you can create a private channel, and then there's a private key associated with that you share with only those individuals. Therefore, only they receive that message. However, even the private messages will hop through other radios. Just the person that has that radio that doesn't have the private key cannot read that message. So there, that's that part is basic as I could put it. You also might hear people talking about repeater or router or whatever, and you're like, what is that? Well, if you have any sort of radio background, you might, well, I know what a repeater is. And they kind of work the same, but not exactly. MeshCore has a specific repeater role and settings, and Meshtastic used to. Now they have only router, and there's a few versions of router because the repeater role was problematic. Just leave it at that. So really just think of it as that way. It is a node that is in a strategic location, typically like on top of a building, on a hilltop, on a radio tower somewhere, that's got a nice vantage of the local area, and then it is able to relay or pass on those messages in a more deliberate manner, especially when we're talking MeshCore, but we're not getting in the weeds today, I promise. And then you also might hear when people start talking about the hardware, the radios, you might hear people saying ESP32 or NRF52 and something about MCU or something like that. Well, simply there's a circuit board in here that has a microcontrol unit on it, and whether that microcontrol unit is an ESP32 type or an NRF52 type, and then of course there's a LoRa chip, but we're staying basic, remember, is the thing you probably want to know the most is the NRF52 is more conservative on power. It uses less power to operate. Therefore, it is great for those infrastructure nodes. You know, a solar node that you can set up and put on top of your roof, your house, or on a radio tower or a pole, because you can run it off a fairly small solar panel and a battery internally, and it doesn't need to have external power source to keep that node operating. So that's kind of where you think about that. There's more to it than that, but we're keeping it basic. The next is the mesh network and network behavior, right? So the big thing is I've done videos about Meshtastic versus MeshCore, but this isn't all in one video. Really what you need to know is how they both handle traffic in the basics, right? So Meshtastic is great for new users and getting started. Their app is pretty refined by now. They've been around for quite a while. I've been using it since 2022, and it does work pretty well. However, Meshtastic is better for those more ad hoc type networks, and you're like, what are you talking about? Well, think of an area where you don't know that there's an existing infrastructure or mesh network in that area. It works great for there. Meshtastic does not work well in highly congested areas where there's a lot of people using Meshtastic. It tends to cause problems based on how the protocol kind of routes messages and how it handles all that. We won't get into the details, I promise. And then MeshCore is definitely more attractive to those users that are in those congested urban, suburban environments where there's lots of users, because it's a more intentional network, a more structured network that allows for managing the routing of messages much better than Meshtastic does. So think of them those two ways. Biggest thing I could tell you there is you don't have to get too worried about it. You might go on to some place like rockland.com and say, oh, here's a radio, but it says Meshtastic. Well, here's the thing. Most of the hardware is compatible. So even if it comes pre-loaded with Meshtastic firmware, check the list. I'm going to provide some links down below, but you can go and look and see, hey, this device is also compatible with MeshCore, which most of them are, most of the popular ones at least. And you just get it and you flash new firmware on it. And then, you're using MeshCore. Of course, you need the MeshCore app also. So we'll talk some of this towards the end. Range, we're going to hit on real quick. Range is not magic, but it is. So here's the thing. One of the biggest mistakes people tend to make with LoRa is they figure out that LoRa means long range. So they have this misconception that, that means it's just going to go to the moon, right? Now, the thing is all range on line of sight radios, and these are line of sight radios. The only thing else is not line of sight is high frequency radios that use high frequency, basically your amateur radios, military radios, and satellite, phones and satellite devices. So they can go over the horizon. So range is always dependent on your terrain. If you live in a mountainous area, you live in a very dense forest area, your antennas and placement of the node, your settings, there's so many variables there that I can tell you it depends on range. On average, you could probably easily see, with everything set right, between a mile to 3 miles in a suburban urban type environment, and up to 5 to 10 miles in more open terrain. And people have gotten much further. It just depends on the situation, what their setup is. One of the key things you got to think about is placement. You can take a very high quality antenna like this ZBM2 Industries antenna, custom built, and which performs wonderful, but if I'm inside this brick house, it's not going to get the greatest range. It'll still reach out of the house, but not that far. You could take the basic old stock antenna like on this Meshology Heltec V3 and put it on the roof, and of course it's going to outperform this one inside of a building. So placement is also an important, and setting up infrastructure node is how you kind of get that benefit for most people. All right, final suggestions before we close this out. So really, it doesn't matter which one you start with. A lot of them already come with Meshtastic, so if you want to start with that, it's no big deal. There's no cost associated with the firmware or the application. So as long as your devices are cross-compatible with Meshtastic or MeshCore, you can just switch between the two. I do recommend, though, you buy two to start with, unless you have a friend, family that's close by, neighbor, whatever, that way it's easier when you first set it up. You can actually test it. You know where that person is, so that you can be like, try send test messages to make sure it's working, back and forth. It really helps with that. Closing thoughts. LoRa Mesh radio communications is a very powerful tool, and it's being used by tens of thousands of people all around the world. However, it's not magic. These are open source projects, and with the nature of those projects, you're going to have some issues here and there. And the best part is that people that are volunteering their time to fix this stuff usually get the updates out pretty quick, whether it's with the application or the firmware. You just got to work with it as it goes. So if that's a deal breaker for you, now you know, right? So if you want to support what I'm doing here today, you can hit that thumbs up, subscribe, completely free. If you have more questions or comments, of course, you can put those in the comment section, or you can check out my Telegram server or my Telegram channel and my Discord server. And don't forget, gear gets you started, but knowledge and skills keeps you connected. Thanks for watching.